Is it that time again? Time for What Happened on My Universe mode! We're ending another week with Smackdown live. We're kinda live in Lafayette, Louisiana, and our main event features our world title feud, The Miz versus Christian, but we open the show with Shinsuke Nakamura, and he is going one-on-one with Drew McIntyre, who's making his debut, and he's accompanied by Dolph Ziggler. Nakamura tried to hit a kick to start with, but McIntyre reversed it straight away and hit him with an electric chair drop. Nakamura then rolled out the ring, and we got that same cutscene we've already had twice in this Universe Mode week, where he tries to escape, but then, up from behind, the Intercontinental Champion AJ Styles stops him from running away and throws him back in the ring. Nakamura then got hit with two clotheslines from Drew McIntyre and then a Glasgow kiss, which he followed up with a Claymore. He went for the pin, but somehow Nakamura kicked out at 2. Nakamura was able to get a reversal after that. He kicked McIntyre in the face, hit him with an Oshigaroshi, and then finally managed to escape the match when he hit McIntyre with a nasty low blow right in front of the referee. The referee called it off and Nakamura got to escape unscathed. Hopefully we'll get a conclusive finish in our next match, as Mickie James, who was accompanied by Alexa Bliss, was facing off with the man Becky Lynch. But there was a problem as Becky Lynch made her way to the ring. She was attacked from behind by Ronda Rousey, probably in retaliation for the attack on the last edition of Smackdown. Becky was okay though, she could start the match, but it didn't start well for her, as Mickie James smashed her with a flapjack, worked on her leg, smashed her with another flapjack, then choked her on the ropes. But once that had happened, Becky was able to get up and hit her comeback maneuvers. Becky's comeback involved a couple of clotheslines and a drop kick, but that was followed by a Bexploder, a Tornado DDT, and a Capture Suplex, or a Tazplex, depending what area you're from. Lynch's momentum was derailed when Alexa Bliss got up on the apron to distract her. Mickie James grabbed her from behind, hit her with a couple of knees to the back, and dropped her with a reverse DDT. She then got up and hit her with a Mickey T and went for the pin, but Becky Lynch was not down. Press LB for resiliency, you know how it works. Mickie James put Becky Lynch in a cross armbreaker, but James is no submission specialist, and Becky Lynch was able to reverse out, punching Mickie James in the face a couple of times before hitting her with yet another suplex and locking in the Disarm Her, which Mickie James, unfortunately for her, had to tap out to. Becky Lynch, despite Ronda's attack, came out on top. And so the SmackDown Women's Champion was victorious. She celebrated old school style because the man isn't the man yet on the 2K games. But we followed that up with another women's match as Charlotte and Sasha Banks were about to give us a barn burner. It was a toss-up between the two as to who was going to get the early advantage, but it went to Charlotte after she initially reversed a clothesline and kicked Sasha Banks in the gut. She took her down and then took her down some more, trying to work on the leg. And when she tried to work on the leg some more, Sasha Banks eventually reversed. With Sasha Banks in control, she nailed Charlotte with a Russian leg sweep and a head scissor takedown before taking to the skies and hitting a Meteora. Unfortunately for Sasha Banks, Charlotte no-sold that and hit her with a spear after and a neck breaker, following that with a backpack stunner. With Sasha Banks down, Charlotte had one option: to lock in the figure 8, which she eventually put in, but Sasha Banks was not tapping yet. Instead, she lifted Charlotte's leg off and punched her in the face, and after that she whacked her in the face one more time with a forearm. Banks nailed her corner double knees and then went for a kick, but Charlotte reversed, hitting her second spear of the match, but this time it was Sasha Banks' chance to no-sell. She went and hit a comeback move, the same one Becky Lynch hit earlier. Sasha Banks then threw Charlotte into the corner, hit her with double knees and went for the pin, and somehow she didn't kick out, so the double knees won the match. Maybe she injured something, and maybe Charlotte's going to be off for a couple of months again. Anyway, on to our next match, and it was a triple threat match, so you know it's going to be chaos, as Cesaro was against Rhino and was also against Eddie Guerrero. The match started with Rhino hitting Cesaro straight away with an electric chair drop, but Rhino then ate a spinning heel kick from Eddie Guerrero. Rhino continued dining as he ate a European uppercut from Cesaro, who was then caught himself by Eddie Guerrero and had his face stepped on. Guerrero then hit a back elbow but got caught by Rhino. Rhino punched Eddie Guerrero in the face a few times before Cesaro interrupted. He got a powerbomb for his troubles. Eddie Guerrero then took a suplex off Rhino and then a weirder suplex off Cesaro. Cesaro gave Rhino a very European uppercut and locked in the sharpshooter, but Eddie Guerrero stopped that straight away and instead gave Cesaro a head scissors. But Eddie Guerrero then ate a gore off Rhino. He went for the pin, Cesaro broke it up and instead hit Rhino with a Ricola bomb. With Rhino rolled out the ring, Cesaro went for the pin on Guerrero, but Eddie kicked out. The pair of them then visited Reversal City, which eventually led to Eddie Guerrero hitting the Three Amigos, or two of them at least, because Rhino eventually came back in and prevented the third. Rhino took out Cesaro with a double underhook suplex. He went for Guerrero, but Guerrero wriggled out, kicked him, hit him with a spinning heel kick, and then hit him with a chair. But soon enough, Cesaro popped back up and hit Guerrero with a bulldog. He then locked in the sharpshooter once again, but Eddie Guerrero quickly reversed out of it. He dealt Cesaro another spinning heel kick, then took the chair to Rhino one more time, hitting him with the gut and then putting him down with a DDT. He went for the frog splash off the top rope, but Rhino got his knees up. Cesaro tried to get back into it, but his dropkick hit Eddie Guerrero instead of Rhino. He went for another dropkick on Rhino, but that got reversed. Rhino then put him down with a pile driver. Eddie Guerrero smashed Rhino with a chair, went for the pin, and finally, the match was over. Eddie Guerrero was your winner. And that match was probably good enough to main event, but it wasn't the main event. Instead, we still had the World Heavyweight Champion, The Miz, to take on his feud buddy right now, Christian. And Christian didn't waste any time getting started on The Miz, who's pissed him off a lot recently. So he took him straight down and just wailed on him. Punch, 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 punch. Eventually, The Miz was able to push him off and they could start the match properly, but Christian just carried on where he left off. Christian hit The Miz with a crucifix and a neckbreaker and a jumping back elbow before stomping on The Miz's head and then getting distracted by Mrs. Miz, Maurice. The Miz chop blocked his way back into control and then hit a selection of moves, including a quick boot to the face and his signature DDT. He went for a punch, but Christian reversed and hit a frog splash off the top rope. He then hit him with the unprettier and went for the pin, but The Miz was able to kick out at 2. The Miz quickly reversed and then booted Christian in the face. We then got the ultimate insult while Christian was dazed. The Miz hit him with his own finisher, and even more embarrassing, he pinned him with it. And that's how the show ended, with The Miz on top, bleeding. And that's it for another edition of What Happened on My Universe Mode. Like and subscribe. Retro Rumble next.